now because we've got Alison Young. Do you know, I feel it's so lovely, isn't it, having these amazing people that we can just sit and listen to and no distractions. We're so lucky, aren't we? Anyway, so Alison's going to be talking to us today on standing out in a competitive marketplace, something that I cannot wait to listen to. So over to you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much, everyone. Just let me tell you a little bit about myself first of all, because I won't assume that sort of you know who I am, but I sort of like to proudly say
TV star.
Okay, that will be that time. I'm one of the longest standing members of BABTAC as well, really proud to be it, and obviously working with Millie and Oriel and lots of different industry leaders over the years as well. So in my role now, from beginning as a therapist and in salons and then celebrity facialist and treatments and then running salons, health farms, spas, hotels, to then head of training and clarings, right the way through then to consulting and developing treatment and training protocols for brands like L'Oreal or Philips or big prestige collections, through then actually sourcing and taking products to QVC, and now today actually do the consultancy business. So I do the TV, I do social media, I do the consultancy business, and I work with small indie brands. When we go back to the environmental, I was having a meeting just yesterday, because yes, I work Saturdays night times, because being in your own business you do, just like I'm sure you do in salons. Actually with an indie brand going back to the environmental, where yes, she ran out of bottles, having to put her costs up, can't order bottles in advance because of actually forward ordering of components because of Brexit and not being able to afford it, and having to put prices up by £10 per product. And because she was I went through a figure, she was way losing money. And that was all the environmental issues of actually, hand wrapping with recyclable tissue paper, etc. So there's a lot of things that actually might sort of link to do with the environmental. But what I really want to talk about is sort of the advice that I give as well, there's a little bit about me. The advice that I give really to increase your sales potential. You're very good normally as salons of actually increasing your bookings and trying to increase your bookings and knowing how to increase your bookings, but then increasing the sales potential in with therapists and at point of sale at counter. Hi, come on in. Point of sale at counter as well, and that is a massive growth area that you can sort of develop. I mean, how many of you as salon owners or a therapist feel satisfied in that you're meeting sales potential of actually selling product to consumers? How many are satisfied? No? How many are dissatisfied? How many think that the salon or you could sell more to look after the customer? So yeah, quite a lot. And it's when I'm looking at this and when I'm looking at sales techniques as well, you can find out loads more on that old website. When I'm looking at sales techniques, it is all about staying ahead, especially in these difficult times. So first of all, a big well done you've got here, after 2.5 crap shit years. And you're obviously still here, so a big pat on your back to you, to your staff, and to all that you will have had to have, given up and coped with, and furloughs and salon closures and PPE and everything. So I think today is a great sort of celebration, and it's a great gap in your brain that allows you to then rethink and look forward to what's your business going to be over the next couple of years. Because, as Oriel says, whether you're a big or a small company, changes take time. And you can make quick changes that I'll take you through in this presentation, but there's also other things that are maybe more long-term that have cost implications. Or a lot of the things have time implications, and time is emotional energy, and time is also a cost for you. So when I'm looking at staying ahead in these difficult times, it is very much about making sure that you're maximising your potential as a business, that you are maximising your therapists and your staff and your receptionist potential, and also that you're maximising potential across social media and your website. So all of the different platforms, you're no longer a business of just bricks and mortar or just a mobile therapist or just a cabin at the end of your actual driveway, for example. And I'm very much in support as well of actually, when I'm looking at this is not about the London bubble. This is not about globally where big salon groups, etc. are going, because I've always said, one client, one product, one great therapist, one really satisfied client. That's where it all starts. That's how Elemis and Oriel, right the way from developing the first Elemis treatments to now having a house of Elemis and spas and cruise ship liners all over the world. They do over 3 million treatments a year, I think, wasn't it? it all started with one treatment, with one therapist, well, Noella and Oriel, two therapists doing the treatment, designing it. So a successful business is about finding out that detail that you can do now, that you can make a difference. And it doesn't mean that you need to grow as in physically. I often say to people, you know, it's just great to find one great therapist or one great salon. It doesn't have to be the be-all and end-all or grow into, you know, a massive hotel business or chain like that. So it's really about, for me to look at you today, is developing the retail sales. And those retail sales, for me as a therapist, I'll actually start to talk about it, is that it's service, not selling. So this is not about, and I think all therapists right the way from college are adverse to selling, or correct me if I'm wrong, is there that's still that feeling that if you're in a department store, if you work in a department store or Boots or Space NK, or your local department store, that's selling. If you work in a salon, a lot of people that work in a salon sort of almost don't like the people in the department store, because that's the nasty side of the beauty business. Is that image still there a little bit, do you feel? Yeah? In that, sorry? Yeah, a little bit there. And it isn't, you know, what it is it's service, not selling. So in the department store now, they employ so many therapists, and they value a qualified person to be able to have that one-to-one connection, that one-to-one conversation. And you've got qualified staff that are having a one-to-one captured 1 hour conversation or a 30-minute conversation behind a closed door, in the privacy of the closed door. So you've got the opportunity there with that privacy for that customer, that client to get your knowledge. And that's what it all is about. It's about your knowledge, it's about serving them, not selling. They're with you for, they're on waxing treatments, etc. Then it's, you know, half an hour every 6 weeks. If it's a facial, it's 1 hour once a month. If they're having some, you know, added services, or if they're having a course of treatments, or you're doing light therapy or those more invasive things, then it might be every 2 to 3 weeks and they're booking a course. But outside of that, there are thousands of hours that they are doing something wrong. And I say that they, we used to say she, it's they now, because it's whatever gender they wish to identify with, and obviously it is, you know, hopefully going forward, lots more gender neutral salons and treatments and services that we can open up. So that would be one good thing to look at, is actually how gender neutral you are, because that's a whole category of people that you can actually have in for treatments that you can encourage.
Would you go as far as saying we have an actual responsibility as well to do it, because they're putting their trust into us?
Yeah.
If we don't advise them, we're letting them down, aren't we?
Yeah. If you send them out on appeal service without an SPF 50, and you haven't either put it on, or they don't have one in their bag, and they said, we're off to the restaurant or we're going to the park to go meet a friend, they need an SPF 50 at till point to buy. You know, so, and if they don't, then that's their choice, but you have actually very gently told them that that would be the safest thing to do. When I'm talking, and you can use this to then talk with your staff, whether you've got one member of staff, or whether it's just you yourself, or whether you've got a team of 20 or a team of, you know, a whole team of salons or a team of hotel spas. For me, you know, selling and recommending, even though I might do it and have done billions of pounds worth of sales over the years, it's still for me caring, not cash. And I, you know, I will absolutely get emotionally, I mean, I will cry, I'll go emotional now if I know a brand is trying to force something on that is incorrect on a customer, because I know, and you know, who will definitely make you cry, how much that hard-earned cash means to that customer. And actually making that outlay on top of the salon treatment, because they've already paid 40 or 70 or 90 or £200 for salon treatment, whatever it is. So making that other outlay on top of that is often that hurdle that you're trying to get across. When we're looking at this, you know, it is what, you know, do these have in common if I'm looking at it? So £1 billion global retailer, I work with one of those as one of my clients. And also, we're looking at Alison, the Lockstown Group, £1 billion, you know, global supplier. A multi-pound brand, so a multi-million-pound brand, one of your brands that supplies salons, Dermalogica, Renegino, you know, any of your brands or services that's in this country. A massive spa chain, an individual salon, so that could be you, or a single self-employed therapist, that could be you. So what things do you think you've got in common, say with the top one, which is the £1 billion retailer? Correct. Yeah.
Quality practitioner.
Yeah. Qualified staff. So you've got the qualified staff, you've got the customers. Anything else?
The responsibility again.
Yeah. Oh my God, I've got that on my next list. Yeah. And it really is, and maybe spending time with your staff when, if they're reticent about selling as such, that it's not selling, it's caring, or it's serving. And when you're looking at it, is that you've got in combination with those multi-million-pound suppliers or those billion-pound corporations, and you've got it on a ground level where you can communicate easier. You've got the integrity, you've got the qualifications, you've already got a caring attitude, and you've already got as well probably something against them. You've got this one-to-one relationship, which is a relationship which has developed. They tell us everything behind a closed door, don't they? We get the divorces, the births, the fertility clinic, the daughter driving them mad, the mum driving them mad. You've got a growing experience, that growing knowledge with the customer that you can then call upon, so then you know when they need something, but you also know when they need to save a bit of money, and that you can help them with more multitasking products or sorting out their routine and doing it to help them and recognise that they're having a tough time at the moment. Customer care, you do that brilliantly. That's what you do. You do better than often, again, the bigger corporations. You're all people persons, or people. Because, again, a lot of retail sales can be done online, and online there isn't the people thing. And also on social media, there isn't the people thing. Social media and social media selling, which I'll come on to a little bit, you've got a great talk on that later on too, that is impersonal. It is in that stage of just being, hi this. And there are a lot of social medias out there that are just making money from making money. They're not actually making money because they care about their follower. They're just using their follower or building up their numbers, and they've never met a follower. And if you put some of those people actually into a room to speak to customers, they actually can't speak to customers. They're just used to saying, buy this, click on the link. So you've got all of that, and you can demystify that with your clients. Also, they all started somewhere. It's wonderful to have Oriel today. Two therapists started. Was it Harvey Nicks?
No one was Harvey Nichols, yeah.
Pardon?
No one was at Harvey Nichols.
Yeah, no one else at Harvey Nichols. In treatment, making a product line. Next minute, Steiners, ships, cruises, salons, treatments. One salon in this country, then globally, a massive corporation. And also, to her credit, the three co-founders still there today, and still care today, which is, well, that's going to make me cry as well. I'm obviously loyal today. And also, just to say size doesn't matter. So when we're looking at it, it is that, for me, one satisfied customer multiplied by X. So everyone has the ability to have a satisfied customer. It's harder for the bigger corporations to measure satisfied customers, because it just becomes a national statistic or a global statistic, and they can often miss the nuances of actually holding on to that customer because they're just on the average general push. Well, you can actually really go back when you're a small business so that every customer is satisfied with whatever it takes for the satisfaction, new word, of that particular customer that day, and of then that growing relationship with the customer too. It is then, again, that 24/7 care. It's going back to that service, not selling. And the 24/7 care is, she's had a facial, but what is she doing tonight? Or what are they doing tonight? What are they using tomorrow morning? Having that one treatment gets one result, and that one result, how long does that last on their skin? And how can they make that one result last longer? And that will be about analysing what they've got at home at the moment, and also how they can incorporate what they've got at home to make your service actually last longer on their skin. So it's not necessarily about selling them everything from your treatment or from your facial. It's often tiny baby steps and letting your customer realise that you're not going to force sell the lot, or you're not going to serve them with one product at the end when you're in shock, just coming bleary-eyed with no makeup and saying, buy this, and there's been no forewarning or no discussion that you're going to help them. So, Laura, my next question I can ask, when do you think a sell actually starts? At the start? The start of what?
Well,
Yeah. Take the client in.
So when they book with you, you
Yeah.
actually start building a relationship.
Exactly, yeah, perfect.
You know, it's for the appointment,
Yeah.
find out what they want, so the therapist can compare and get the mindset correct.
Yeah,
for
the
treatment.
booking notes or sending out an information or an email or something. Starts everywhere. It's the comfort of that client. So, you know, when does a successful treatment sale start? In a traditional treatment version, the retail sales, social, the image, your advertising, your online image, your website image, you know, your mail out if you're doing any, what your window looks like, what your reception area looks like. It's making me feel comfortable. I'm seeing a professional image across anywhere that I see you, not just when I walk down a high street. You know, obviously word of mouth, things like that, but where it goes down to the amount of times when I'm doing test shopping or doing treatments for big corporations, corridors, loos, beauty room, how the therapists look, you know, all of those things and more, you could write a list, are affecting the sale. So sometimes one of the easiest things to do is actually to take a camera, because a camera never lies. And anyone who loves themselves on camera? Exactly. Oh, you do? Definitely. Oh my God, I've got my glasses on having a look at you. You love yourself on camera. Oh my God, I hate myself on camera and I'm going to die. Is if you take a camera round your salon or even on the approach to your salon where you're actually doing it and actually video it and watch it back. It's what people do when they're selling homes, for example. You suddenly are, oh my God, that's a mess. Oh my God, that corner looks messy. Oh my God, the look needs painting. And actually doing the camera and doing that regularly, because that will show you through someone else's eyes, like a customer's eyes, and things will jump out at you. Because otherwise things become normal to you and you might, you know, miss it, or other people in the salon haven't got eyes, and getting other people in the salon, other people that you employ as well, to actually do that, because that's a great check if that corner looks a mess, or I can see dust in that corner, or when you lie down on a couch, the ceiling's not nice, or that light is glaring. All of those things are actually affecting the comfort of that customer, of that client, to be able to take your information and the treatment. So crucially, the treatment, that 40 or 100 quid treatment or that treatment course has been affected. When we're looking at, it's really about creating a comfortable, non-threatening, helpful environment where everything is for sale. And this is the other thing, is if you look now at coffee shops, for example, you'll often go to a coffee shop and they actually might have for sale the artwork on the walls. So you can take from that and doing things like having, you know, the artwork on the walls, or, you know, buying locally sourced environmental furniture. And actually, they might not be for sale, but you know, when they go second-hand, you might have them for sale when you change the salon around, or certainly you might get them at cost price or free of charge if they're from a local retailer, and then that local retailer can also do cross-promotion from you. So that everything from the pictures on the wall to the hand wash and the sanitizers that you're using are all purchasable, because that's also creating an opportunity for them sometimes to ask a question, because they know that hand wash, that smelled nice. Like, I like the 3 matching ones that are lined up in the loos here. So there's a hand wash, there's a hand cream, but then there's also a matching hand sanitizer. And don't they look really smart? And if that was in your salon, it was a set, and it was available to buy, I'd buy that as a gift. I'd buy it as a home gift, I'd buy it as a wedding gift, I'd buy it as a birthday gift, I'd buy it for myself for the home, as long as it was actually had recyclable, reusable, actual refilling properties. And to the products, with the final enticement right the way down to at till point, which I'll talk a little bit more. So it's also looking at the diversity of your retail offerings. So gone is the day where a salon is successful just by stocking necessarily one brand. It is about actually, and even though you might only wish to stock one great salon brand and salon service, because there's time and money against training and support and supply of that brand, it is that you can diversify, for example, at till point or with hand hand washing, or with lip glosses, or with hair brushes, or a till point with some lower priced items, or an SPF if they don't stock it. And you can find these sort of suppliers often in local artisans, in your local farmers market. You can find them as well in sort of local county shows. But you can also find them in sort of bigger display actual forums like Top Table, which happens here in London, where you can go and actually find fashion items or jewellery items or makeup or skincare in still very niche small companies that you can just buy one counter display to actually go on the counter, or one set of 20 products to begin with, to see how it actually works with your customers. And that can work really well, especially if you're a high price or premium product brand. It's just having something at till that's £5. That's, and actually putting on at till those things as well. Actually don't just put it there, actually put a little, note there, and have your reception staff trained, so that this is a great little handbag essential. This is great, if you buy two to have as a gift or a thank you. This is great as a Christmas gift idea. Different price points, great as a birthday gift, or do you owe anyone a thank you, and you've got £5 or £10 something at till, and suddenly that £5 or £10 multiplied by 20, 30, 40, 50 or 100 products across a month actually is a big difference without actually increasing your overheads.
It gets used to behind you as well.
Yeah, and it gets used to the conversation, because then that's your customer or client.
Go to the place to
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know whether we're allowed to sort of, those on the phone. That is why.
So take shadows.
So what happens at that point of till can then develop a lot more sales beyond the brand that you're supplying in the beauty treatment room. So the reception area, or even if you're a single therapist, even going out to the reception area, you can just turn it out into a slightly different person and just add in, I've got these offers at the moment on these serums I've just got in, which are hyaluronic. You mentioned you're using a hyaluronic, by the way, I've got a 2-for-1 offer at the moment, or this is an organic range if you'd be interested. So again, it's not a hard sell, it's just letting them know on those situations. Aftercare, there's definitely a question here that for your aftercare services to include in the treatment price. So sometimes you might have an offer if you need to move some stock, or you want to encourage your clients to start buying from you, because they're just not buying from you. If you do a survey across your clients, what are they using, what brands are they using, and it's not yours. So then looking at that's okay if it's good brands. You want to have a conversation and always say, well, it's a great brand, that's lovely, that's a brilliant moisturiser, keep using it, oh, you look good on it. So actually complimenting them, but there's going to be elements of things that you've got with your expertise and your knowledge that would actually benefit for them. And there could be ways of, with the aftercare, actually including it and doing the promotion of it in the price of a treatment, the cost of a treatment, for example, so that moisturiser or that new brand or that serum actually goes with the treatment. Or especially if you know that you need an after wax treatment product, if you need an SPF product to go after that skin peel service, then you can actually include that into the price of the treatments as part of really being professional. But sell it to them as a limited edition offer. So it might be that you start off with this month we are doing, or this month because it's a summer we are doing this included in the treatments, or part of putting the prices up, because all of us having to put prices up, it might be that what added value can you put in that increased price. So that comes on to sort of added value, because it is about the added value. Does anyone do point systems in the salon? Yeah?
Before COVID, I sort of stopped.
Well, you survived, didn't you? So COVID was survival. So when you're looking at any loyalty systems to do with point systems or them coming back, they love a point system. Do you agree, those of you that do it?
Yeah.
It might be just, again, looking at some of those pre-COVID ideas that you had, where you can actually get some loyalty schemes and loyalty systems back in, because the salon client is a loyal client, and a therapist is loyal to that client too. So it is something that will develop easily. There is, how many of you look at the business as building a community? Big buzzword out in sort of marketing and with all of the forecasters now. Have you come across that? Yeah. And it really is then looking at your salon in everything to do with the community. So, you know, the community is that your salon is more than just bricks and mortar. It is about looking at, first of all, different demographics and opportunities for different demographics. So, if you really look in where Millie was saying about the younger age group is our newer client, really looking at the wording, the photography that you're doing, the social media presence that you're doing, and you can actually get different clients across the different platforms. They don't have to all come into the salon. They could just be a social media follower first of all, and you could sell through social media that before they come into the salon, and looking at the image, in that is your image actually covering, you know, different demographics, different age groups, different ethnicities. Is your language the same? You know, if you've got salons, for example, just doing simple things like not talking about washing your hair every day. Because if I've got a darker ethnicity, I don't wash my hair every day. I wash my hair every 2 weeks because I've got curly hair and it's better not washed. It needs natural oils and it doesn't want sodium sulfates or foaming agents. So even just the products that you offer, but also if it's too expensive to diversify in products to begin with, just making sure that the language you have with your different client base and your different age groups and also your different genders is looking forward in your next refresh that you do. It is looking at your salon as more than just a salon, and you can do, you know, expansion here without major overheads. So expansion across social media, or expansion across your website, or expansion with email offers or newsletters. They aren't bricks and mortar, they're not your major cost. Their time, their energy and their creativity, but they can be done yourselves now because there's, you know, lots of YouTube videos and self-help and members in the family, and those of you as well that are good at IT can pick up those. It can be really enjoyable, and it might be that in the salon you've got someone also that is actually good at those, that you can give them those sorts of responsibilities to actually develop, you know, customer profiles and sales across all different platforms. So it is about a community of services that you can offer that is wider than the appointment book. When we're looking here at, you know, looking at that community, it is all of these things and probably more. So, you know, how many of you, if you're looking at website, footfall, eBay, link ups, PR, word of mouth, Facebook advertising, I mean, it's massive, it can be a full-time job. How many of you feel that you're doing that strongly for your business? Yeah, so there are sort of steps of improvement that you can make, and it will be going back to, I think, one of your points, baby steps. It might be about looking at your business, and if you don't have a social media account, then just setting up a social media account and mentioning, getting you and your staff to mention to everyone, and putting, you know, putting a little poster up and just, you know, printing it out off the computer at till point. Say, you know, follow us on social media. We've now got a social media account to keep up to date with offers. So it might just be that first step of actually starting social media in the salon, or it might be actually about that you've got social media, you do all your local PR, you have done advertising, you know, and swapsies with local fashion and retail outlets, and you know, you do email outs on promotions and offers, so that you are doing a lot of that, but it's then really looking at it and analysing it now, so the scattergun approach of everything, but then what's really bringing in new customers or new sales. So which ones do you want to focus on? Or the only thing I would also add there is that if the ones that are bringing you customers and sales are the ones you've always done, you still need to push that boundary to give time to something else, because you need to find that more diverse or that younger customer. And that might be someone that is not walking into the salon, that you'll find in one of these ways first, and then next time they're in town or the village, they'll then walk into the salon, and then they'll, you know, then pop in. And all of those can have retail as well, so they don't have to necessarily be just for salon treatments. So make sure that with your retail, that if you are overstocked on something, you know, put it down one of these channels, that there's an offer on the serum, or you deliberately brought in hyaluronic as a buzzword this month, it's always every month, but you've got a load of hyaluronic serums in, and to regular customers they can use their points card, or if you brought to treatment you can get a discount on the hyaluronic serum. So So actually putting things out down those areas as well to actually capture new customers. So you've definitely got like the treatment service clients. You've got the front of house is a retail shop. So how many of you think that, or have got the front of house as a retail shop? Yeah? How many of you could develop that front of house to a retail shop? No? No one? Even if it's a small area, or even if you're not stocking a big brand, even if you're using, you know, getting an artisan supplier of soaps or hand washes or something that is, pardon? No, something that is a consumable that all cosmetics I appreciate, but something that is readily available as a consumable to a household, not just to an age-specific or an anti-aging product. Maybe if you're doing facials or a waxing product, something that is a consumable actually, you know, at your till point when you're collecting the money, even if you're a one-to-one salon. The social and online, the treatment enforcement, you can definitely do that, promoting treatment enforcement, but also look at it as retails and offers. How many of you did online consultations through COVID? Oh, brilliant. Did you enjoy them? Yeah. And have you continued, or can you see a way to build on those going forward?
More people do want to come into the salon.
Yeah.
We do a lot of interest on Instagram, just
Yeah.
in pictures, product recommendations, we'll put it on stories when we've got new stuff.
Yeah.
People can collect it.
Or doing a live on Instagram as well, talking about a new service or talking about a new product or a new
We
treatment.
just film it and then post it on the group rather than do a live.
Yeah.
You get good engagement from our content on.
And which is brilliant, and you only get good engagement from doing it more. So don't be disappointed if you start on social and you get 5 likes and they're your friends. We all started with 5 likes. So whether it's me, whether it's Caroline Hirons, whether it's Elemis, we all started with just 5 likes and it was our friends and family. So it is just about building it and actually doing it. But definitely, you know, the ability to do online might be something that you may continue to offer if a client moves away, or if a client is poorly, again, or if a client gets stuck with their skin. It might be that, because all of the big brands now do online consultations, they're continuing to do online colour consultations and colour matching with makeup, etc. So if you do makeup services or anything like that, it might actually be something that you do want to just keep an open mind of, and just keep in mind what the big brands are doing, and it might be another service that actually would help, or will help someone if they actually are stuck at home or God forbid any of this happens again. And salon, how many do salon hire outs? If you've got a room or salon hire out to a wedding party, bridal event, yeah. So salon hire outs are really great. You can link up with restaurants or a wine bar. They can take it for the evening or for your days off, things like that. Again, it's just getting more people in, getting more people to recognise bundle sales. Everyone know what I mean by that? Where you actually curate X amount of products together and they can buy it in a bundle at a discounted price. So that allows you then to either move stock or put top-selling stock with low-selling stock to actually get it moving at a better price for your customer. So it's another way of doing an offer for them, and again, communicating. Get gift baskets and boxes, as long as they're renewable. Anyone do those? Everyone does those at Christmas time, Mother's Day.
I quite like it on mixed retailers if you sell a manicure voucher to try and sell a hand cream with
Yeah.
it. So.
Yeah. Then again, that's point of sale. So there should always be something at till point of sale, even if you're a single therapist, when you actually take that money, or where is the seat where they sit down if they're early, even if you're a single room therapist. How many are a single room therapist in here? No, you all, what, have you all got more than 2, more than 3 therapists? Yeah.
You said in the loo as well, like,
The hand wash in the loo, I want that one. But also, you can also look at then selling yourself and selling, you know, treatment. You know, you've got all of the different Amazons and websites now for selling your services or selling your treatments, as well as actually selling as well product or retailing product. So you can retail product beyond your own salon and someone walking in. You can retail it across social media, you can retail it across the website, you can retail it across you know, eBay and Amazon's, things like that as well, as long as it's not, you know, contradicting any of your distribution agreements. But if it's often things at point of till or things that you've bought in, just start to experiment with as well. And you can experiment with without too much cost. You can build it up slowly. These are all, I mean, if I'm looking at easy wins for you, things at till point, definitely reassess till point or where clients are sat. Limited offers is actually, with limited offers, that they're only available for a certain amount of time or a discount, and you've just got to communicate that. They love a limited offer, they love an offer. So a normal retail price, something sat there getting dusty on a shelf, especially if you've got therapists that aren't selling it, it's going to stay dusty on a shelf. So then you just got to look at, as a manager or the owner, moving that stock or limited offers or available or top clients or anyone that books a course of treatment, just to keep things moving and always keep things moving. And also things like pre-order across your social media. You know, you're open right now to take pre-order, might be pre-order on a new treatment because you've been trained on a new treatment or something's coming in, but pre-order actually a product that is coming in, so that you're actually getting in, you know, 20 of the new cleansing balms, and you're pre-ordering, you're offering it to your VIP customers first. So when we're here, when we're actually looking at it, staff and your members of staff are critical to just then try and have communication and staff meetings without actually and seeing what their negativity is towards the word selling. And maybe trying some of these other ways round, or I want to care for the customers this month because I've noticed we're not doing a lot of after sales waxing lotion. I'm worried about everyone getting a rash because it's the summer and they're going to be sweating. Or I'm worried about them using a deodorant after the treatment because they're not buying our roll-on treatment, which they should be using for a couple of days, because otherwise they'll get stinging and ingrown hairs. So again, helping with the education with your staff. How are we talking to the customers across all platforms? So that's very much to do with your, you know, you have a salon image. So you've chosen colours of towels, colours of the room, decor, the furniture. You need to have both a physical image on social media, and you also, in your staff meetings, need a verbal image. So it's also then in your staff meetings, looking at words and phraseology, and that imprints into your therapists and to your staff. And words and phraseology, that how you would like your client base to be communicated to. And just like you change the decor of the salon, your words and your phraseology, or the way that you describe a treatment, or the way that you describe a product line, or the way that you describe what the latest smoky eye looks like, is actually, it should be changed at least quarterly. And that might mean a little bit of research, or just seeing in magazines a lot of the time what the phrases they're using, or if you're following anyone on social, what they're saying, or what just like you know what the Pantone colour is to maybe paint the salon or to have new uniforms, that actually there's a new language, and that language is verbal, and that language is followed and refreshes your social media and your websites too. So that's really what the salon DNA is, that tone of voice is replicated everywhere in written and verbal, and it can really make a difference because different clients are turned on by different phrases. So just by changing the language or using some different phrases or discussing that with your staff, it can actually, it just opens up communication. Or sometimes that's just the key. That's like, I can't believe it's just bought 3 products and I've bought from me in my life. And that is just a change of language when you're actually communicating, rather than do you want anything today. Free of charge products, obviously, incentives and rewards we've discussed as well, which is to your staff as well as your customer base. So, you know, that is crucial. A lot of the time I find as well with the staff is I don't know how many of you let them buy their own product for their own use at discounts? Yeah. Because if they can't afford the product that you're recommending, and I appreciate you can't give it to them at, you know, at a loss or as a complete freebie unless you've been given some freebies, or unless you're putting a big order in and you can absorb something, and she's brought in X amount of targets, so you're going to give her a free product, an allocation this month, or them a free product, then when you're looking at it, that they can afford to use the product. So the first question that I will ask when I'm having a therapist or a treatment, what's your favourite product? The amount of times I'm told, oh, I don't use it, never going to buy. Never in a million years am I going to buy from that, because I know I'm going to be sold to now, if that is my answer. Because she's just got a product, she doesn't use it herself, she's going to sell it to me. If there is a, oh, I don't use it yet because it's really concentrating on anti-aging, which is better for you, I'm happy with that answer. You know, because you might in your salon not sell, she might be 22 and have oily problematic skin, and you might not have an oily problematic skin range. So I just need an answer from a customer if they are not using it that I can believe, which will still allow me to be open to that suggestion of a purchase later on and to their expertise. And also, you know, when you're doing that, it's all about sort of explaining and encouraging to, you know, your therapist and having staff meetings and just, you know, how do you feel about selling, and how do you feel that you're not reaching target, and just putting it into different ways. You're looking after the client, it's 24/7, you've only got them here for an hour, you don't want to send them out without a sunscreen, you don't want to, you know, and just opening those conversations. A lot of the brands as well will give you either online training now, online sales training, to also virtuals. It's one of the one possible good thing that's come out of COVID is virtuals and training, and virtual trainings now, because they can be done obviously online and they can be recorded, as they don't have to be, you know, lose a therapist for Monday and Tuesday. It can be a 1 hour. That's what I was doing late last night, which is why I wasn't here mega early this morning. It was actually editing training videos that I was doing for a brand to actually go out to their staff and their retail staff, which was, some of them were 5-minute videos. You'll be having a lot from your suppliers and your brands, and ask them if they're doing that and actually push them to do that, because obviously losing therapists for days on end of training and then they leave you in 3 or 6 months to go to a salon to get a higher wage down the road, and they don't stay with you, is a nightmare. And it's sort of one of the staff turnover is one of the big nightmares, isn't it? It depends what pockets or areas of the country that you are actually in. So actually demanding more of that from your brands and from your suppliers, demanding more updates, you know, that you can bring into your staff meetings, or then again that you can actually have it online so that they can watch it. Actually, if a client cancels, they can watch that. So it's it doesn't have to be watch it in your own time or watch it on a, you know, late on a night. You'll get your good girls and your good therapists and your good guys that will do that, but actually we all get cancellations, and these training videos or update videos are all ones that actually, if you just have there ready as a list of things, if you get any cancellations, these are some really interesting things to have a look at the moment. Matching offers. Does anyone match offers in the area or look at matching offers in the area? And also maybe matching and speaking to your brands about matching offers that they're doing online. So if you notice that your brand is doing an online offer, say, can we have that as a salon? Or how many have we got to buy to have that as a salon? Or is there something else that you can offer us for a salon, because we're losing customers to that online offer?
And they're really good when you speak to them, small and big brands. If you really talk to them, they're really good.
They'll often have something, but maybe it just hasn't been communicated to you as well. So, you know, it is all about asking. Exclusives, just like I said, limited offers. If there's anything that you can do that are bundles, limited offers, exclusives, this gives a little bit of a time limit and a bit of an urgency that will attract a retail sale for you too. So, you know, I've got this, you know, this exclusive offer in our area, or if you're the exclusive salon of that retail brand anyway, it is an exclusive offer. So, you know, playing with your words to just maximise it, to make it attractive, and actually sending it out then, you know, down across your different platforms and emailing out to customers. Events, any of you still do, or are you going to get back to doing some of your events? Yeah. Hopefully now they're getting more confident to actually, you know, come back into the salon, a new customer, or bring a friend event, or, you know, different age groups and different demographics to actually encourage them to come into them. And pre-launches, I mentioned that earlier, pre-launches of, get your sales to come in, or at least get them to reserve them. Well, I'm taking pre-orders now for the next launch of X. It could give you the opportunity to, instead of ordering 5 or 50, that actually you get a load of pre-orders in and you order 25 or you order 200 of that individual particular product, when you're either speaking to the brands direct or you're speaking to your rep, or you can actually get in contact with them now so quickly and easily with virtuals, emails, WhatsApps, etc. And that, because you're offering that service, they're then going to get used to you having that service, but they won't get used to buying from you until you start giving them and supplying them with all of these too. New brand. So, I'm 3 minutes over, I'm working Millie. New brand, new customer. So again, looking at that age group and that demographic, and maybe just experimenting with something small at till point and something economical at till point, but it's a different demographic for you. And also no overhead brands. So something at till point often isn't an overhead. They don't have an opening order. You don't have to do X amount of staff or training, anything like that. So they are easy ways of actually potentially getting money, communication, sales techniques, but actually not having an overhead. Direct dispatch and affiliates. There's a talk later on social media. That's something that you can actually start to put into your social media, and some brands will be starting to and do direct dispatch to their salons, and that's something that you actually again start to look at because there's no overhead there. And when you're looking at affiliates, there's no overhead if you're recommending some other brands and actually doing affiliate. How many do affiliate links on their social media now? Oh, well done. How's it going?
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah. It's
slow to start with. Yeah.
Again, everything's slow to start, but starting it is then opening the door to more retail sales and maybe wider brands without overheads. Because again, affiliate links, no overheads on them. Discount codes, no overheads on them when you're actually getting them or putting them in from different brands. And it widens your brands and it widens your price points, and that widens your customer base as long as you communicate it. And that till point, cannot emphasise it enough with your customers, is trying some different things at the till point. So really it's just to finish that you can get, it's just really about creating your own opportunities. We've had a terrible couple of years, so there is an opportunity to redress, relook, refresh your brand. Whether you're a single therapist, a salon group, a massive conglomerate like Elvis, it is a refresh opportunity, and then to actually look at your image across all your different platforms and how is that negatively or positively affecting potential sales and customers and affecting diversity coming in, and to build your community. So to get all of you and your staff to think outside of the salon and the appointment book, that there is now a way of actually getting people more attracted to the salon or more attracted to separate things like completely separate retail sales or salon hanging route. They've never had a treatment before and they're not necessarily going to have a treatment in the near future as well for you. And, that goes on. That goes back to the next one. And when you're looking at it, I'm across all different sort of social platforms, and the only thing that I'll say to finish is going back onto one of your points and another point. It is exhausting. Yeah. Okay, because we all just want to be with customers, talking or doing treatments or researching products or being with product or with customer. And all of that, it is hard work, but it does pay off, and it is the communication of the future customer. And you will get future clients, you'll get future retail customers, you'll get future clients, and you'll actually, be surprised what it will actually bring to your business and how it can develop your business. But it does take that brain energy and that emotional energy as well. And I think there was a talk today, or we went to it, which was on HR and actually looking after you and your staff, which would be important because again, just with social media, it just can become very, exhausting, and there's, trolls and things like that on there. So it's also being aware of all of that and who is running that for your business.
I think that was incredible. I love those points. I think they're things you can easily put into practice, aren't they? You don't have to, like you said, you don't have to go and do it all day. You can just do. So
just do bits, little baby tiny steps. Just refresh and renew and move forward.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alison.
I think you get fed now.
I was just going to say, I don't know if
questions.